Padres fans, we're here to give you a 360 view and an all-access pass to your San Diego Padres. Here's what we have on deck for today's show. We kick it off by getting a behind-the-scenes look at the man behind the amazing work of Padres punk rock paint. Plus, Alicia Gwynn and the TAG Foundation are at it again as she hosts a music camp for youth in her own personal studio. And we get to know Padres reliever Carter Capps and his love for dogs when we take a walk in the park. All that and more now on this brand new episode of Padres POV presented by Nissan. Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new episode of Padres POV. I'm your host, Michelle Margot. Today we are coming to you from right here in Petco Park's Park in the Park because this is where we caught up with Padres reliever Carter Capps and played some fetch with his dogs, which you'll see later in the show. But first, Padres fan and graphic artist Travis Peterson grew his fandom into a very talented hobby. Check it out.
I started drawing, as long as I can remember. When I was a little kid, I would draw. Actually getting involved in design, started doing flyers for people. I'd done 2 or 3 and then was thinking it'd be really cool to actually have a goal and do an illustration for every series. My Twitter handle's @punkrockpaint. Kind of came up because I used to use strictly Microsoft Paint. And my good friend who's a graphic designer, I was showing him some things that I did, some flyers for a band, and he said, use an Illustrator or Photoshop? And I'm like, Microsoft Paint. He's like, that's so punk rock. You should call yourself Punk Rock Paint. And I'm like, done. When I'm first starting on something, the main thing is to get a good idea. I'll try and think of something relatively clever and then think, is it feasible? Can I actually draw this in, a shape that's going to fit a program or, small illustration? I will, give myself a template, say, here's the general size that I'm going to use, and then just kind of block it in. Use, big, fat black brush on the computer and say, okay, I'm going to have, the fryer over here and this over there. And once I kind of got it blocked in, then I'll go in and draw on the finer details and go into the color. I chose the Padres because my best friend at my wedding giving a speech said, I have an undying love for the San Diego Padres, which is true. Yeah, born and raised here. I haven't been anything but a Padres fan. I have quite a bit of Padres stuff, too much if you ask my wife. There's some closets in the house, but if you open it, you're getting buried in Padres stuff, that's for sure. My favorite piece, I have a guitar. It's a custom carving guitar that was made for a charity auction. And when Tony Gwynn got his 3,000th hit, my dad and I went to a San Diego State basketball game. We're walking in, there's maybe 3 or 4 people floating around. Right inside the entrance gate is Tony Gwynn, just standing there. And then I sat there and talked to him for 5 minutes, and I was gonna leave as soon as he seemed the least bit irritated or anything, but he never did. That was the great thing about Tony. Well, I told him the story about the guitar and how it's this amazing guitar. There's a baseball embedded in it, and he had autographed it, and it's like this one-of-a-kind thing for his 3,000th hit. And he looked at me and just got the big smile on his face. He's like, I've never signed a guitar before. And my jaw must have hit the ground because he grabbed me by the shoulders like, no, I'm kidding. I totally remember that guitar. So I had a heart attack and, had one of the greatest experiences talking to one of my heroes I could ever have. So I got on Twitter, I don't know, almost 10 years ago now. And I think with the Padres Twitter now, it's amazing. Like, I feel like I follow the community pretty closely. I listen to a lot of podcasts from these guys, and it's just like, man, there's so much out there, and it's impressive the work that people put into it. I look at some of these people that are pumping out just great information and really entertaining podcasts and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I can't stop. I can't stop. So you can follow me at @punkrockpaint on Twitter, and go Padres.
Be sure to follow Travis on Twitter at PunkRockPaint. Well, stay tuned. Carter Capps and his new wife introduce us to a couple furry members of their family. Plus, we visit the Gwynn household and catch up with some very talented youth during the Gwynn Music Camp. Coming up.
It also helps them, become great human beings. It also gives them character.
But first, it's time for your Friar Fun Fact. This week in Padres history, on August 30th, 2014, San Diego's legendary closer Trevor Hoffman became just the 9th player to be inducted into the Padres Hall of Fame. Known for his devastating changeup, Hoffman spent parts of 16 seasons with San Diego and retired as baseball's all-time saves leader at that point in time, successfully closing 601 games for the Friar. Back here on Padres POV, I'm Michelle Margot. We continue here at Petco Park's Park in the Park in light of our Dog Day with Padres reliever Carter Capps. That's coming up later in the show. Speaking of dog days, the summer is coming to an end and Alicia Gwynn is back helping the community once again by holding a youth music camp at the Gwynn household. Take a look.
What we're doing here today is the Gwynn Music Camp, for the underserved children. We've given them the opportunity to learn how to dance, learn how to produce, write songs, do production, and also along with that, learn at the same time about character.
This camp has been about a year and a half into planning. And I first brought it to Alicia and I told her my idea about it. And she was like, okay, we're gonna make it come together. We really wanted to make sure that we were hands-on in teaching the kids on how to produce and how to write, how to record. If music is your dream, don't be afraid to try it.
Y'all like to build, make the hook, boom, boom, boom.
Having the kids in the camp is a really good thing for me. It takes me back when I was learning. Music is a universal language, and in order for us to keep a lot of the negativity out of our lives, we gotta have music. Without those frequencies, no telling what the world would be.
Coaching the kids have been really amazing. They're learning so fast. Having them get out and dance in front of their peers have been helping them be able to talk in front of their peers. It's gonna help them throughout life.
I've learned at this camp to be yourself and be confident, because if you believe in yourself, it gives you like strength and to dance and be creative. And that's helpful with me because at auditions I get shy sometimes and I want to work up my confidence. To have resources like Miss Brittany and Miss Gwen and all the producers, it's blessed because I know a lot of people in the world don't get a chance to do this.
Now swing those arms, swing, hit!
I feel like how I've grown through this camp is through my freedom of music. I have a pretty bad, I have a pretty bad stuttering problem at times, and for me, it would be very hard for me to talk to people. And then when I'm in the studio, I feel absolutely just free, I put everything that I have just bubbled inside me, like my feelings, into my performing, my writing. I feel like a totally different person. Every little bit of whatever they've taught me or showed me, it is just truly something that I will carry on for the rest of my life, Like, this camp has changed me for the better.
No, things are getting rough. No, things are getting tough. Don't say you've had enough. Don't say you've had enough, had enough. 'Cause I know I'll see you one day.
Recently, Padres pitcher Dinelson Lamet stopped by Iron Fist Brewery to hang out and relax with some fans during a meet and greet. Check it out.
You guys are here at Iron Fist Brewery. We got one of the Padres players here, signing autographs, taking pictures with the fans, and drinking our delicious Iron Fist beer.
First beer we ever made was Hit Amber Ale, and we kind of messed up on it a little bit, but it still came out all right. As far as a favorite beer of mine that we make, I really like all of our beers. I'm a little bit biased, but right now I've really been liking the Summer City Lager. If I could have a beer with any Padre, it would probably be Trevor Hoffman. I was lucky enough to kind of grow up watching him play, and I was even able to be there at the game where he got his 500th save. It was a really, really fun time, and that's just kind of one of the fond memories that I have growing up in San Diego.
A mí me gustaría compartir ese momento con uno de mis admiradores, que es Justin Verlander, uno de los jugadores que yo he admirado en su carrera.
Got to be Will Myers. That guy's a total beast at the plate. He's also a great fielder.
Having the players come out is really awesome. We're, a family business, and we're really big about our community. So having, our San Diego team, having somebody come out as a representative and meet with our patrons and us getting to talk with them as well, it's really a cool experience.
It's golden, It builds memories. Just like as a kid going to the ballpark, seeing those players up close and personal in your surroundings, your personal surroundings, it's great. It's a lasting impression.
Bueno, algo que me hace sentir sumamente interesante porque me gusta compartir con la persona, me gusta hacer amistades, algo a conocer, me encanta, me la paso muy bien.
Come down here to Barrio Logan here in San Diego. We just got named a Cultural Arts District by the state of California. We got great artists, it's a great community, we have great beer here. Come down.
Still to come, we take you through the Padres Plays of the Week. Plus, Carter Capps wasn't always a pitcher. Find out what position he played growing up. Don't go away.
My first year of college, I actually redshirted to learn how to pitch.
But first, let's test your knowledge with some Padres POV trivia. Padres relief pitcher Carter Capps has always been dominant on the mound since becoming a pitcher, even during his college career. What NCAA Division II record did Capps break at Mount Olive College in North Carolina? Is it A, the lowest ERA, B, the most consecutive wins, or C, did he give up the fewest hits? We'll tell you right after this. Welcome back to Padres POV presented by Nissan. Before the break, we asked you what NCAA Division II record Padres pitcher Carter Capps broke during his college career at Mount Olive College. If you answered B, most consecutive wins, you're correct. Capps broke the NCAA Division II record with 24 straight wins while posting a 24-1 win-loss record for the Trojans. San Diego sports fans, be sure to check out Fox Sports San Diego's newest show, Inside San Diego Sports, airing every Tuesday night after Padres Live, the postgame show. Coming up this week on Inside San Diego Sports, they go behind the scenes with USD football as they prepare for the start of the season. You won't want to miss it.
85 and an ocean breeze, I'll play all day. And here you're going to be running around, oh, it's hot.
In case you missed it, you can always visit foxsportssandiego.com for all the latest videos and articles. Time now to take an exclusive look at the best of the best from this past week in Padres baseball with your plays of the week. Check it out.
Welcome to Padres baseball. Clayton Richard up now with one out. He swings here and he drives one down the right field line. That is deep, and that is gone. That's a two-run homer by the pitcher, Clayton Richard. And just like that, the Padres have tied the game.
Here's a drive to left field. Back goes Hernandez at the wall, and that ball is gone. Padres lead it 1-0.
Well, pitchers around the league know that Travis Wood can hit the baseball. He's got some pop, a no-doubter.
Line and caught by Solarte, laying it out is Jan Hermes.
Suave Solarte.
On the ground up the middle, ranging is Solarte, picks himself up and throws him out. Nice play, Jan Hermes. Solarte's got it, his throw's gonna be close, and in time he got him. Couple of great nights defensively for Solarte.
He has been fun to watch.
Line to right, Blash coming in, diving in right field, and Blash comes up with it. Nice catch. Big Jabari Blash coming in to make the grab. In the air, down the left field line, heading over is Perella to the corner, and Perella leaps and is able to make the catch in left field.
Perfectly timed by Jose Perella to the wall.
To left field for Margot. Back goes Parker looking up, and it is gone! A three-run home run for Manuel Margot.
Hopefully the team is able to finish strong. Still to come, Carter Capps tells us who he idolized growing up. Stay with us.
I thought he was a really good hitter and catcher and just handled the game well. I always liked him for some reason. Yeah.
Welcome back to Padres POV presented by Nissan. I'm Michelle Margot. We are here with Alyssa and Carter Capps, some very big dog people. So we decided to take them for a walk through Park in the Park and get to know them and their dogs. You guys ready?
Yeah, we're ready to go. I think they are too.
So let's introduce.
This is Nova. She's a Nova Scotia duck tolling retriever. So she's the smallest retriever there is. And this is Wookie. He's a Shih Tzu.
And where did you guys get them?
This one, Wookie, we got
on the border of Canada, actually.
Yeah.
Right up near the top of Washington. And she was from
Michigan, and the lady drove her out to like some dog show in Seattle. So we live in Seattle in the off season. So.
Have you guys always been dog people, or is this just?
Yeah. We both grew up with dogs, so it's kind of a natural choice to have them, I guess.
Whoa, look at that. Such good training. So who trains the dogs between the two of you guys?
He did most of the training. This guy is not, he doesn't have the best training.
This is my off-season throwing partner.
Wait, that's actually really smart.
Yeah. Pickle. No, that's not the word, is it? That's...
Let's sit down and talk some baseball, give the dogs a rest, and give you a rest.
Yes, exactly, get my arm rested.
Before we get into anything crazy, I heard that you caught in high school?
Yeah, I was actually a catcher my whole life, caught all the way through high school, and my first year of college, I actually redshirted to learn how to pitch, because that's what my college coach wanted me to really concentrate on, and I kind of took off from there.
So how much do you credit your college coach for transitioning you into pitching?
I give him a hard time saying, oh wow, I could have been a great catcher or something, but no, he definitely made the right decision. It was mutual, but not to some extent. I definitely wanted to catch, and I had always enjoyed it, so it was hard to let that go, but it was a great decision, and I enjoy pitching now. So.
Do you miss hitting at all?
I do, yes. I've had 2 professional at-bats, so.
How'd they go?
Good. I'm 1 for 2. So,
really?
Yeah.
Okay, he's hitting 500, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
So your college was a D2 college, right?
Yeah.
Was that hard at all for you to try and break into
pro baseball and then now make the major leagues?
It was definitely different. Like when scouts would come around, they would ask me why I was at a D2 school. And I was like, well, I just started pitching last year, so I mean, I wasn't like this all-star standout in high school or anything, so I kind of like had to pay my dues, I guess. So I appreciated everything Mount Olive did for me. That was my college, and it definitely got me going in the right direction.
So we have a treat with us. We have Alyssa, your wife. Alyssa, tell us something about Carter that he probably wouldn't say otherwise.
You know, he really likes our little dog, and he doesn't look like a little dog person. I would honestly say that. Everyone would say he's, you know, like at least a retriever or maybe a pit bull. We love those too, but he's so sweet, you can't get enough of him.
Yes.
Who did you grow up watching? Any athlete?
Yeah, I grew up watching, I feel like the Yankees were always on TV no matter where you were in the country, so I always grew up watching them, and I was a catcher, so I liked Jorge Posada a lot. I thought he was a really good like hitter and catcher and just handled the game well. I always liked him for some reason, yeah.
David Ortiz named the top 5 pitchers that he felt were the toughest he'd ever faced, and Carter Capps was on the list.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel when one of the best hitters ever thinks that you're one of the toughest pitchers to face?
It was very humbling. I definitely remember the at-bat, and I give kudos to him. He had a great career, and it was. I'm glad he's out of the game now. I don't have to face him anymore, but no, that was definitely a huge honor for me. I really appreciate that coming. He didn't have to say that, so that was very nice of him, and I really, really appreciate that.
One thing we always do on Padres POV is we ask the player, what's one thing that we cannot Google and find out about you?
I'm a pretty good ping pong player. I didn't join the ping pong tournament because I was actually working out or something in spring training. My father-in-law will attest, I beat him all the time.
Okay, who's the best ping pong player on the team?
Terrence, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he was really good in the ping pong tournament.
I heard Andy Green's quite the ping pong player.
He's actually really good. He, it just seems like he returned everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't seem.
Good hand-eye coordination.
Yeah, it was just like, you'd think he'd slam it, and he just kept returning it. So that was actually a really good little battle at the end.
What's your strategy? Like, what makes you such a good ping pong player that that's what you chose to stay?
I always ask the score, and then when they're thinking about the score, I try to serve really quick. That's my go-to serve.
Well, thank you guys so much for letting us into your family, and also just telling us who you are off the field and letting us get to know you guys.
Yes, thank you.
Well, that's a wrap for this episode of Padres POV. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope to see you next week when we carpool to the ballpark with Padres infielder Carlos Asuaje. From Park at the Park, I'm Michelle Margot. Cue the rollout.
I'm just like, what?
I must say each song is an absolute banger.
What was the question again? I'm sorry.
I kind of forgot what the question was.
And freeze.